Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is our resident gaming journalist Eli.
Whoa, where am I? I'm on a podcast. Wow.
And pro gamer Mike.
Does Waluigi have a catchphrase? Because I was gonna go like "wah," but then I'm like, that's Wario. So, Waluigi sucks. That's what I have to say.
Already getting heated, and our retro aficionado Unoclay.
Just giving you a taste of Goonies are good enough because I heard the mini bosses play it this weekend, and it was sick. It was really good. Talk more about it in my segment coming up. And hi guys. How you doing?
So it's been a little while, but we're gonna get back to our Game of All Time tournament.
By now you know the drill, but if you're some newbie just joining the show, at the start of the year, the four hosts of Just Another Castle each named our 8 favorite games of all time. Then, every week, 2 games go head-to-head, and the winner advances to the next round. In the end, 31 games will fall, and 1 game will rise above the rest to become Just Another Castle's official favorite game of all time. If you want to see the current brackets, head over to www.challenge.com/justanothercastle. That's challenge with an O. Also, sometimes our votes result in a tie, and you listeners can help settle the match. If you want to be part of the fun, follow Just Another Castle or the Mango Viking on Twitter, and you might get tagged to throw a tie-breaking vote. Leave luck to the heavens, and leave the pasta casserole to Matt's sister.
Oh, it's really cool. It's really cool.
This week we're actually in round 2. We've made it full circle. I think that's how it works here. So now all the games we voted for have been divided in half, and they're just going to face each other until we get to the final one, which will be quite some time away. But we're back at the top, and now it is Wind Waker versus Final Fantasy IX. So it's Eli's pick versus Mike's pick, and I'm not sure which one wants to start off.
Just a recap for the listeners that may not be looking at the brackets. Wind Waker took out Katamari Damacy in the first round to advance, and Final Fantasy IX took out Metroid on NES to advance to the second round. So that's where we're at. So it's Wind Waker versus Final Fantasy IX coming up for the first layer of round 2.
Nice addition. So, I don't know, Mike or Eli, you can choose whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. I mean,
The little
on the side of FF9.
about to present the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. I mean, I voted the other game in as well. Spoilers. So it's I'm fighting against myself here, guys. So the rest of you guys just got to hear me throw shade at myself.
All right. So we'll get you started in 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know even what to say in this one. I mean, I love Final Fantasy IX. I think it's one of the greatest RPGs, turn-based RPGs before, and one of the pinnacle PlayStation RPG games that made SquareSoft before they became trash and became Square Enix. Sorry about that. Even Kingdom Hearts 1 is SquareSoft. But it's a bit hard. I mean, the best Final Fantasy game still kind of pales in comparison to the best Legend of Zelda game. Like, I don't want to say Wind Waker is the best of all of them, but it's still top 2, and Legend of Zelda does kind of outdo Final Fantasy. But and like I said months ago,
off to a roaring start.
Yeah, like I said, Final Fantasy IX, one of the best JRPGs. Everybody should play it. Is a character everybody can relate to. Story just goes on. It's one of those 4-disc, 60-hour kind of games. So many side quests to do. So much the game is always engaging. You don't have to just do the main story and play turn by turn. Like, you will always be engaged, and you will find someone you relate to, be it if they're one of the 8 playable main characters or if they're the side characters. So I love it for what it is. I think it's, it definitely deserves to be one of the best games of all time, and it rightfully made the second round. So Baba Booey.
All right. There you go.
Good summary. It makes it. Since it's possible, we'll be very I can't speak. Saying goodbye to it. How about I say it that way? Is it regarded as? I always get confused when people think the best Final Fantasy is. I thought it was 7 or 13 or something, but
no, 13's actually shit. 7's overrated. 6 is actually considered the best one. But I think 9 has the highest ever Famous 2 score for any Final Fantasy game, and it has like the most like regard. Famous 2 is a Japanese rating company. It's the IGN of Japan, I guess, or well, IGN's trash now, but like it was, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, they rated it this, but yeah, Final Fantasy 9 is usually up there with 6. The thing is, Final Fantasy 9 also has odes to every other game, and it combines a lot of elements from it into it. So I think that's what makes it really cool. Well, the thing is, Final Fantasy 7 gets a lot of hype because it was the first CGI game, and a lot of people's first entry into it. Final Fantasy 6 was, I think that's 3 in the United States or whatever. That's the one with Kefka, which is considered like the best villain, and best story. Like he's one of the few villains that succeed. So think Empire Strikes Back. Like everyone loves that because the villains win. Other than that, I mean, 13's not really considered good at all. 13's considered trash.
No, it just
I
plays
can't
itself.
keep them straight. As a non-player, I can't keep them straight. It's tough to remember which one's.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Right on.
You just go by the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good match. That is good. But the thing is, though, actually, I think 2 of the characters in Final Fantasy IX got voted to IGN's top 100 characters ever. And Vivi, who is not even the main protagonist of it, he's one of the playable characters and the very first guy you do play, but he's not the main character. He's a black mage. I think he was voted like in the top 10 of like characters of all time. So.
All right. Here's a question. Should we all do our little
Eli,
things?
no defense. Let's just do our voting. We know what Wind Waker is.
You don't want to hear about how the puzzles are incredible.
No, I'll give the summary for Wind Waker. Ready?
The combat
for an hour. All right, because the sea theme is good enough as a defense.
You don't want to hear about how the game has an incredible sense of adventure and how every island is like a little world inside itself, and how the combat actually feels incredible. And it's kind of weird because like it's really easy to do the combat in Wind Waker, but you feel like you're really good at the combat when you pull off some of the fun stuff that you do in the game. And
okay, and then the fish give you your shards.
You don't want me to talk about how beautiful the game's art style is and how I could play it on GameCube today and it would still look great, or like about how all the characters are just super animated and great, and
no, we don't need that. We don't need that garbage. We don't need that.
I think I ended up eating up my 30 seconds anyway, but the game's incredible. So
Pretty much.
You don't need that garbage. Take that away.
All right, Unoclay, should we just end it here?
I mean, there's nothing to say. You guys know how I'm, but I don't play RPGs, so but I'll play an adventure RPG, such as Wind Waker.
I don't know. That's the one argument I'll put in this. I don't think Zeldas are RPGs, man.
No, they're not. Everyone just says that. That's why I'm joking about it.
Oh, okay. That's like one of my secret pet peeves. I'm like, I'm not leveling up in this game. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. It's a damn adventure game.
For me, it's like I'm not annoyed, so therefore it's not an RPG.
That's fair. I like that. I like that. I mean, if it was an RPG, Clay wouldn't play it. Simple as that.
Maybe.
It's fun.
All right, so we'll just wrap it up there. Wind Waker takes it 3-1 and moves on to the next round.
3-1. Wait,
how about 3.5 to 5.5?
Okay. I can't put halves in there. I don't have.
I know.
Who's voting 1 though, Matt? You're voting for Final Fantasy IX?
No, isn't Mike?
No, that's me. I'm voting out of courtesy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like you distracted so hard that I was like, you're not even voting for it at all. All right.
No, I gotta vote for my fang girl.
Got it. All right. So Wind Waker advances. Cool.
All right. It'll be interesting to see how when we get really tough picks going up against each other.
I feel like Wind Waker is like the Big Lebowski of video games. It's just like it's going to be hard to imagine something beating it in this tournament. We'll see, though. We will see.
Well, we'll find out. Yes. So we'll move on to what we've been playing this week, and I finally finished one of the games I bought for my plane trip. I didn't actually beat it on the plane because like half the time I was sleeping, but I finally beat Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. It only takes about like 4 to 5 hours to beat, I guess, depending on how good you are. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a I don't want to be mean and say it's generic, but like it's, I don't know, typical short adventure game. You go around beating things. It kind of makes me think of Mega Man, I guess, because you have like one kind of level with. So how it works is your human character is cursed and turned into a different animal, and they all have different attributes. And you can only access certain areas with that character. So let's say you turn to the mouse. There's one level where you can only get through if you're as the mouse, and you have to beat that level and the boss to, complete that section. So it kind of reminds me of Mega Man in that way, where you have like one level, and then you beat it and move on to the next, sort of, except you can't really choose. But it's a lot longer, I would say, than a Mega Man level, and if you die at any point, then you have to restart the whole thing. There's no like checkpoints. So you have to be a bit more careful with what you're doing. You can also find like potions and stuff in case you die, or you might get one if you're lucky on the way. But I thought it was pretty fun if you're looking for something that's shorter, worth checking out for 10 or I think. It's
I
$20.
played it as a kid. I played it as an adult. I really like the this swapping between the 8-bit and the modern style.
That's really cool, especially with the music.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest attractions for someone who hasn't seen it. They literally built the game on the exact same, like down to the sprites, shapes and hitboxes and everything as much as they possibly could to play as a modern game. Looks like a modern, like Metroidvania, as they say, and kind of like platforming Metroidvania type game with the character attributes Matt was mentioning. And then at any moment you can swap either the music or the graphics or both between classic original game or the completely like remade, looks a lot more like a Shantae game, or I'm trying to think of
like hand drawn pretty much.
Yeah, it looks like hand drawn, painted, like kind of modern art style over top of the original. And you can do it every second. It's a button press and you swap back and forth between the looks. So it's a really cool effect. Matt, I wanted to ask you, I haven't beaten it because I kind of got frustrated. I think it's the lion. And then I got, so you as he said,
so you're like halfway.
Am I really? So I did mouse, I did the Seaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the lion.
Yeah, and then there's oh wait, no, there's one more. Sorry.
I was gonna say there's one more.
Yeah, because the mouse was before.
Yeah, so like I got to the boss of that level, and all of a sudden it went from like easy to like I just got decked so hard, and I had potions and everything like that I was like, this is broken. I don't even know if I'm gonna finish this. Like I instantly had that reaction where like
really?
I just play so many classic games that I just know when games do that to you that I'm like, sometimes this is just not worth even messing with anymore. It's just not
which
fair.
Boss was it? I want to look it up.
I don't recall, but he took so little damage that I ran out of all my sub weapons and had barely dented him.
Yeah, sub weapons do like nothing. They're garbage.
Yeah, and it was like, and I was just dancing around trying to hit him with my dumb little sword, and he wasn't taking any damage off that barely. And I was like, I'm done. Like I'm not even going back to this. It was my instant reaction. I was like, I can feel it. This game just ramped like an old game can, where it's like, oh, this isn't even built to be fair. We're not even trying it.
So do you know that? I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to like equipment, so you have a sword, a shield, and armor. The stats are actually different for each character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Sure.
Do you know that?
I mean, yeah, like I swap my armor all the time so that it's like buffed to the max, like that it has the best stats. I mean, if that's what you mean for my character, sure. Yeah. I did that. It still was like, it was like a war of attrition that wasn't fun because I was doing so little damage and he was doing so much that I was like, I hate you. Like so you didn't have that kind of trouble with that boss? Like it didn't.
Well, I'm trying to look it up which one it is.
I'll look. I mean, if you didn't have trouble that you didn't. I'm
sure I did at one point. I'm just trying to remember which one it was.
Yeah. Anyway. No worries. I was curious. If you finished it, clearly it's not as bad. You didn't find it as bad as I did, where I was like, I give up.
I think I probably did, but I probably just tried to find another weapon or a stronger weapon instead.
Maybe I'll go back to it, but I don't want to bore the listener.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's the spoilers, I guess. It's a samurai that throws like electric balls.
I can't remember. It sounds right. Okay. Sure.
Well, it's the lion boss.
Yeah,
There's only
totally.
one way you can do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that one's kind of annoying because you try to go up to it and it blocks all of your attacks.
Yeah.
So you have to wait until it like shoots you, but you also kind of get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like it was unfair and I was done with the game, but I don't want to bore the listeners or anything like that. So I'm impressed you beat it because like it threw me off the game kind of where I was like, I'm enjoying this and now I'm not, like kind of experience. I was like, this feels like not fair, but it sounds like maybe I should give it another shot because you were able to crush through it. So
yeah,
nice.
Probably just look for another weapon or something.
Totally.
Just to help you out a bit.
Good enough.
The mouse I think was the most annoying one because so for listeners each one has different attributes and whatnot, and the mouse is not only the smallest character but has the shortest weapon. You basically have to be point blank range to like hit something. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, Wonder Boy's a fun game. It's
nice.
I know it's regarded as one of the better in the whole series. So if you're interested in playing an old classic, like really classic, like kind of game that's not a Nintendo platform, it's a good choice to check out. So I'd say it's fun. It's cheap, right? It was like $10 or something.
Yeah, I got it on sale for cheap. And the other game I played, I don't know how far I am through it because they don't actually give you a playtime for whatever dumb reason, but I've been playing God of War on PS4 recently, and I was kind of skeptical and excited because I wasn't sure if the combat would still be good because they're kind of making it this like Last of Us kind of experience where you're walking and people are talking and there's not really chapters or anything like that, but I really like the combat. It's fun. I thought having action buttons on the shoulders sounded stupid, but it works completely fine with the way it is. I'm still not crazy about like the Last of Us style where it's like, here we're gonna walk and everything is like one seamless experience. I kind of like having chapters because it's easier to like divide the game, I guess, in your head and figure out like what's an end point. And I don't know, I just kind of like dividing that in my head. Plus it also makes it good for like stopping purposes, like, oh, I've completed this section, I'll do something else or go to bed or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird and I just like that, but
how you what you want to have a life outside of games, dude? What do you mean?
Really.
What are you talking about?
I know. Just hook a VR headset on me and an IV full of food. That's all I need, right?
Come on, yeah, and a toilet chair. Come on.
Yeah. No, but I'm liking it. It's fun. I think I'm closer to the end. But we'll see how far. Basically, you're supposed to get to the top of the mountain, and I got there and I got told go somewhere else. So I'm
God of
probably near the
War.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, or a game I'm not going to play.
I can't help but keep saying "boy" for no reason, just to myself.
Boy.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah, like Eli and Mike, you both probably played that game, right? Didn't you guys?
Yep.
Totes.
Yep.
Totes. You hate it.
No, it was pretty great.
Dad of War. I just think that's the funniest meme. Sorry. Nice. Well, congrats. Congrats on your not liking the chapter structure, Matt.
Fun game. Check it out.
No, I know the feeling. I'm playing Fall 2, which you've already talked about and played yourself, and I feel the same way about it. Like it may not be a super great game. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Like I'm enjoying it, but I'm not going to talk about it this week or anything like that. But it has that same chapter problem that I'm like not sure a lot of times how far it is till a save point, and that always kind of like makes me a little like, yeah, what's up with this? Like I want to save, and the game doesn't like save on the fly. You got to like get to a certain point when it saves, and I can never. It's sometimes hard to tell how far it is to the next section. So I understand what you're saying.
That's weird. I'm pretty sure they divided it, but it's been some time, so maybe
Yeah.
not.
They do. It's just like it's relatively short divisions anyway. I just can't. I can relate to what you're saying. That I'll like wonder how much further it is, and I can't really sense it. I'm like, come on, I just want to save. I need to get out of this game right now, and I don't want to just sleep.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like, it's not that they don't have chapters because they do. It's just whether is this the end of the chapter versus are they going to add something else to extend it? Is that everything?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, they kind of pull those. All right, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Eli, what have you been up to this week?
So I played through and beat Owlboy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, how is that?
It's pretty good actually. I mean the way it works is that like you're an owl and you can fly, as most owls can, but you carry around a partner who has like different abilities. Like one of them has the ability to grapple, another one has the ability to shoot a shotgun, another one is more regular bullets. And you kind of like fly around and shoot to solve puzzles, and there's a little bit of platforming stuff, and then defeating enemies. I don't know. I like this style. It's got more of a retro style, and kind of the sort of game you would play on a Game Boy. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think that some people aren't so thrilled with the mechanics, but I thought that they were fine. And some of the story elements are kind of deep, and it's kind of interesting. Like they're kind of like these side things that happen, but like they're kind of deep if you really start thinking about them. Like there's I'll just do one example so I don't spoil too much, but there's like a shop owner. And you kind of like throughout the game collect coins and then spend these coins to upgrade your health and stuff. And so whenever you visit this shop owner, she like has these like birds, I guess, or animals, I don't know what they are, come out and like reward you like as you for collecting that many coins. And it's like very clearly domestic violence, like the way the shop owner treats her like animal / worker thing. It's kind of dark, and you're just like watching and you're like, wow, this is terrible. Like, oh my God. So it's kind of interesting because the gameplay itself is just like anything out of a game, but then there are like these like side story elements that are like a lot deeper and kind of weird. Well, not weird, but just deeper and interesting.
I never would have guessed that from like anything I've seen.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember when I hit that part in the game, I remembered like seeing a headline about this, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then I kept like playing, and it's kind of reoccurring whenever you come back to the store to get something, like it happens again, and it's like, oh my gosh, like it's just a reoccurring theme here, and it sucks because you can't do anything about it either. There's like no mission to stop it, it's just like a part of the game.
Just have to watch it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really interesting the way games are starting to confront that stuff. Well, console games, I know, Master Race PC will say, oh, this stuff's been in games for years, bro. Like, I know. I'm talking consoles here, man. Yeah, but, that's interesting to me. It's a platformer, right? Like, I haven't seen too much of it, but it had a lot of buzz around it a while ago. I haven't followed it too much, but I'm excited. So it's would you say it's really good? Good? Is it? It's not Celeste level difficulty or anything like that. It's different.
No, it's not that difficult a game. I really enjoyed it, and I.
That was cool. Okay. It's like we are literally playing a video game right now.
Sorry, I got a message. Sorry about that.
The reason I ended up picking it up is because I saw on Metacritic that it's like one of the highest rated Switch games. Like, so that's why I picked it up. And yeah, it's really good.
Did you get it physical? Because I know it recently came out physical. Okay.
So I ended up pre-ordering the physical version. It's on eShop too, and I think it's like $10 cheaper or something on the eShop. But with my Best Buy, I get 20% off. So it like. Nice. It was only a little bit more expensive to get the physical. It's like, why not? And
I know it was out actually a while ago, digitally only. Like it recently came out physical.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, definitely recommend it. And it's not too short. It's like for an indie game, I think it's like 8 or 9 hours long. So it's a decent amount of content.
Nice.
Cool, man. I'm definitely gonna put it in my like watch wish list, whatever you want to call it, because there's so much competition for that like kind of that genre of games right now. I mean, we are basking in riches of like platformers that have a throwback style or like new mechanics and things like that. So it's almost hard to decide, but it had so much buzz. Like you said, it's got good reviews and everything. Yeah. So that's great. It's cool. Neat.
Nice. All right. Mike, what have you been playing this week?
Well, what have I been playing? I feel like I played a lot. Hold on, let me think. I definitely went back to Xenoblade. Oh, I've been playing this game called Realm Royale. It's alright, and of course my usual oversplotch. But I'm looking to pick up actually 2 games. I'm looking to get Mario Tennis. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that game. And I'm also looking to get this game called Yeez, which is Y''S. I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
it's the
Good old
Secret of
Yeez.
Dana. It comes out tomorrow. I've only played one actually. It's an action RPG game, but I played it on the Vita. Yeez Memory of Celceta, and that was actually one of my favorite Vita games like that I ever played. Like, I mean, it got tens, the Memories of Celceta. So it wasn't like I just picked up some random game. I was like, you know what, this game got tens. I really like my Vita. I want to play this. And then, has the same protagonist as that one. I think his name is called Adel or something like that. I can't remember everything, but it has been like 4 years since I played it. But I'm kind of excited for it, and I was gonna get it on the PlayStation when it came out a few months ago, but I heard it was coming to Switch, and I'm gonna do my civic duty and get a game like that on the Switch, so there could be more games like that.
There you go.
Nice.
So,
Plus, it's
that is so more of the I'm kind of waiting for everything kind of thing going on for me. So.
nice.
I always have this like animosity toward East as a series, or Wise as I called it when I was a little kid.
Oh, you played it, so you have like.
Oh.
No, and that's
Oh.
I have animosity toward it because I had an Apple IIgs as a kid. Listeners that are as old as I am might remember it was like the evolved final form of the Apple series. But that game how to say this, that computer had a lot of challenges, and in that you got to understand there was no internet. You had to like get people to explain stuff to you. I didn't really know what RAM was, and I probably didn't have enough RAM inside my computer. But it just wouldn't run. And I had East. I probably had the discs in a box somewhere still, but it wouldn't run. And it looked so cool. I didn't know that. I thought RPGs were kind of boring at that time of my life. I thought it looked awesome, and I probably would have like enjoyed it at that point. But it would never run. It would like start up and crash. And for years, I was just a little kid, so I just put it back in the computer and try and make it run again, and be like, why won't it work? I want to this Wise game. I want to play it. It's like it would like start and get a few screens into it, and then it would just like break. And it was like, I always am like, I'm never playing that series. I hate you. You ruined my childhood.
Well, that's fair. I mean, you get your revenge like that, you know. I mean, I respect it.
No returns. The computer stopped. Wouldn't take it back. It was like, no. It's like, sorry, you could have copied it. Sorry. Like,
Yeah, you could have copied it. Like, yeah, like I know what that is. You know, like, come on, dude.
yeah. So, it's cool. Let me know how it is, and I'll still hate it. It's great.
All right, cool. Yeah, dude, freaking one of the Vita one got a 10 out of 10, man, freaking a few years ago. So that's how it is.
I know they're mad popular. I always hear people talking about them, and I always have this like bitter feeling inside. Like,
I never knew they were that popular, to be honest. I just I thought it was like a niche game. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. And then I haven't heard that many great things about Mario Tennis. Some people say it's not as good as the GameCube Mario Tennis, which I didn't play anyway. And then some say it's really complex, which I kind of got that vibe. But I'm excited for it. The online was really fun from the demo what I played. I mean, I love that the 3 days I play with it, and I hate Rosalina already in that game. So
I think it
didn't take very long for me to hate Rosalina.
Yeah, is this our new thing? You hate Rosalina?
I've always hated Rosalina, okay?
I mean, like,
okay?
more now.
I've always hated it. We can go back to 2014 podcast of her top tier ass, okay? I hate Rosalina. I hate how Nintendo constantly makes her top tier. And you want to know who's the best character in Mario Kart 8? Want to know? It's baby Rosalina. So, all they ever do is make Rosalina OP. Super Mario 3D World, guess who we unlock at the end? Rosalina. And she's broken as shit because she has Mario Galaxy physics, okay? So...
I mean, to be fair, that's at the end of the game.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though. She's still OP. Okay, like they couldn't put Yoshi in. All right, why do they have to make Rosalina OP all the time? All right, freaking baloney up in here.
I do think she's one of the most generic characters Nintendo's ever made. Like, I really do think that. Like she just. I love both Galaxy 1 and 2. We don't have to get into that, Mike. I know which ones you like. You love them both equally. I know they're like
clearly.
Well, I'll have you know that when I played Super Mario Galaxy when I was... How old was
3.
I? I was maybe like 12 or something. But when I played Super Mario Galaxy when I was 12 years old, Rosalina was clearly the hottest girl
Oh yeah, I mean
in the Mario universe, and she was totally the most appealing. I was like, I don't know what Mario's going after here because Princess Peach is freaking nothing.
Eli likes those platinum blondes, bro. Right?
that Rosalina was in his spank bag, bro. That's not even.
I was like, listen, Mario, you got a princess here who just cannot take care of herself. She's getting kidnapped at every turn. Meanwhile, you've got like a space queen over here, like running a ship around like the universe. Man,
it's like Carmen Sandiego of space.
Clearly, there is a cooler person that you should be into here.
Oh man, I never thought of it that way. A space queen.
Well, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, like they got rid of Daisy for this lady. Okay, when I like Rosalina. She definitely is a hottie. You know what I mean? But it's like she sucks. Nintendo always makes her OP in all her games.
Let's be freaking honest. If Mario ever got kidnapped, Rosalina would rescue him.
No. Okay, it would be maybe. Who knows? Okay, that's not the point. The point is, at least I like Daisy better when she was a clone of Peach. Okay, but on a side note of that, just tell Nintendo to stop making Rosalina broken in every possible game. Like it makes zero sense why they're like, oh well, she's a new character. We got to make her appealing and amazing and everything. Like f that shit. Okay, f that noise.
So I think that ends the Rosalina controversial hour. Great. Unoclay, what have you been playing this week?
I'm going to talk about the game I went to a little later, so I'll keep my comments short. Since I'm supposed to do the retro thing, I'll give you my pick of the week for something retro you'd never play unless I told you to. Anyone out there who's like into old NES games, it's not going to be into you guys. This isn't really for you guys to play because I think you'd all find it kind of boring. Well, who knows? But there's a Atari Age and Nintendo Age, the websites. They have this thing that they run annually where everyone in the chat in the boards like tries to beat every game on a single console in a calendar year, and it's just for fun, And they make the list and you knock out games. So I was scrolling through the list of games that haven't been beat this year, looking for one I haven't played and could like try to beat and get on the board with like a game in the list. This game called Puzznic was the one I picked. It's Puzznic, Puzznic, and it doesn't look like much. It's a puzzle game, but it's actually really cleverly designed and kind of addictive. It's deeper than it looks if you watch videos of it. It's kind of if I had to describe it, it's like it's a block matching game where you have to get the blocks to line up, but it's not like Tetris where they're just falling endlessly. It's a set puzzle and you have to figure out how to like exactly drop the puzzle so that all the blocks get eliminated. And I'm constantly being surprised by how well designed the puzzles are, that it's again, it just doesn't look like a lot. It's like it doesn't really show itself very well. It's literally just a puzzle game, and it was rated as a 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. So I thought that's about the right level. I could probably finish it with some effort, and I've never played it before, so I'll try to finish it for this message board. And I'm having a good time with it, regardless if I do it first. I'm still enjoying it. So that's my pick of the week. If you're looking for something kind of off the beaten path, I think it's cheap too. I think I paid like $10 or even less at like a garage sale for it a while ago. So it was just sitting in my stack of backlog.
Nice.
So that's it. That's what I'll mention this week.
It reminds me of Henry Hatsworth.
Yeah, and Matt, like the funny thing is I thought of that when I started to say it. It's like I'm not even that hardcore of a puzzle guy. Like I do enjoy them, but as much as anyone. I mean, who's going to sit there and say they hate puzzle games? It's like everyone likes them kind of. It's like they're all right. That's kind of where I am with them. I'm like, I'll play them, but it's not like my focus. This would be more fun of a game on a handheld console, on a handheld, but I'm playing it on my NES. And, it's nothing flashy. It's a puzzle game, but its real attraction is that it's got, you can feel that whoever designed it spent a lot of times creating really clever puzzles that are tough, that you think you have the solution and then you try to solve the puzzle and you're constantly having to reset. It's like a constant like restart kind of game where you're like, nope, screwed it up, got to do it again. Nope, screwed it up, but it's real fast. It's a fast, fun game. So I'm about halfway through, I think, overall to getting the win on that one. So there it is, your random recommend of the week.
Nice stuff. All right, so we'll move on to. We don't really have news, so just some other random topics. We were basically going to do like questions and whatnot, and pertaining to Smash since we played it. And I actually answered a couple of Mike's questions when I was there playing it or tried to. I know he did some videos going over the competitive part of it, so if you want to intersect that, or I guess, well, give us your opinions on what you've seen. As far as the
Definitely.
game, and then we'll go from there.
So, I mean, everyone's seen this new Smash. I mean, we debate it all the time if it's 4.5, if it's not. I mean, I was on Team Port for a while until I actually got to watch and spend some time looking over all the videos and all that. Now, one thing I did want to get out of the way was, man, freaking Bomberman's a Stitch trophy, but I called it. I called Bomberman would make his way into the game, so I was pretty happy about that. All right, so the first thing I was looking at, like, the big thing that everybody really wanted to know when I was looking at this stuff is, like, how is it going to be more competitive? Like, how is this game going to be different? And, I mean, Clay hasn't played Melee, and we've all really, like, all of us have played Melee for fun, but Melee is a lot more technical and all that in the sense that there's a lot more, there's like more techniques, I guess, is the best way to say, even though technical and techniques is kind of dry repetitive. But, all right, let me see. The first thing I did notice, Matt said this, speed is a big difference. And now, a big thing, if you're looking at it competitive-wise, is like you're allowed to stop your dash off anything with an attack. So, which is really cool, a really cool aspect. It makes melee dash dancing attacks kind of like a mix-up really cool. I think the most important thing right now, I think it's definitely got to be a bug, like, is the fact that you can't dash through somebody right now. If you watch a lot of the games that were played, and I don't know if Matt or Eli, did you try to run past someone for an item and you kind of just pushed them along? I don't know if you guys remember. This is a really specific detail and all that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't recall at all.
See,
I just played for fun. I just got my little Mac and I was all excited, and that's what I remember.
Okay. I mean, so like,
it's too chaotic to tell because like 90% of the time you were playing against 4 people anyway. So.
I mean, so like usually that was a problem in like Melee and all that, where you'd be like, oh, you know, you want to try to dash past, and there's usually you kind of give them a little push off, but you're able to dash past because like in the competitive aspect, you want to dash past people, because you want to might possibly go for a turnaround grab or kind of go for a mix up. Or like a tomahawk. Tomahawk is when you empty jump, empty hop, and then you bait a grab or something like that. Empty means you don't do anything. But in the game, like from the sets I watched, I mean I watched all the sets, but from like each specific game, I've noticed they tried to turn around and grab, and it was actually quite difficult. Usually the heavier characters, it's more difficult. Like Bowser and Donkey Kong, like you can't just dash past them as easily. That was one thing I was like, maybe the game is not done. I think back in the in Smash Wii U, when it was presented at E3, it was like rumors have it that Zero Suit Samus used to have hover boots, like her heels used to like hover was her second jump. So, nothing ever stays the same from E3 and all that. Yeah. Another thing I did talk about was this game looks like it has a lot more. Like I wanted to know like about auto canceling. Like I've heard a lot more attacks are easily auto canceled, and that's good in both ways. I mean now it's not like you're gonna be like, oh man, I did Donkey Kong Fair, and that's when he does it's forward air when he does the 2-hit fist behind his back to his head that also has a spike / meteor hitbox. Now you're gonna be like, oh, okay, like I think that's good casually because now like there's not as many mistakes that could be made where it's like, oh, I'm playing for fun and I know this move sucks because it has so much lag or end lag or whatever. But I noticed a lot more attacks have either less hit lag. I mean, less landing lag, or they actually have no lag at all, which seems really cool. I honestly like that. Thing is, back in Smash 64 and Smash Melee, you would cancel your landing lag off an aerial attack by either doing something called an L cancel for Melee. L or R could be used, or you use a Z cancel in Smash 64. So you would do that, and you could go home, test it, or after you listen to this, turn on your system, like down air with Link, and you'll see the difference between properly L canceling or properly Z canceling in either Smash 64 or Smash Melee and doing it normally. So I'm kind of interested in that. I'm like, what's gonna happen really? Like, are the attacks kind of just free auto cancel, or is it, this, that, and this?
Before you go on, Mike,
Okay.
Elia's got to head out, so we'll let him head out.
All right, you do your thing,
I
girl.
wasn't gonna hog the stage, but since you did turn it over to me for a
well, I
few
like to
seconds,
inform the people so they're not just like, how come Eli's quiet for the next hour?
I just passed out. That's what
Nice.
I did. No,
He's drinking
I
all
jumped
that
out of
free,
a window
E3 booze.
and that's it. No, you can find. I'm heading out. Thanks everyone for listening. My Twitter's at Paul Salon. Read my rating at Nintendo Enthusiast. I'm still catching up and putting up previews from E3. Honestly, I wish, Smash is a fun game. I wish I could give you a ton of perspective, but honestly, I just play it for fun. And this game was fun. And there's not really a ton I can tell you more other than that, because it's just Smash to me. So, yeah.
Gasp.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's still putting out E3 stuff late. I don't know how late sites usually put it out, but I feel like I'm getting it out too late.
Yeah, you're fine.
But nice. Okay, I'm not the only one. Good.
All right, have a good night, all.
All right, see you
Later, homie. To keep going on,
yeah, just
let's
say
see.
I guess one more thing.
All right, one more thing. Matt, I wanted to ask. You said it had the Smash 4 ledge thing, right? Because they look like the main thing I noticed too, like they made it more Melee-esque versus Smash 4-esque, was Mario wasn't really snapping. You can watch this in my competitive analysis video. Like Zero's playing Mario and he doesn't snap to the ledge as much. And I'm like, magnet hands in Smash 4 are really obvious. So I was just wondering, I'm like, did you kind of notice that sometimes you would overshoot the ledge when you'd up B or all that? Because you're supposed to, if you want to miss the ledge in Smash 4 or any other Smash game and not snap immediately, you hold down right before you hit the ledge and you pop up and then you let go of it. If you keep holding down, you'll fast fall or will not grab. I was just wondering, did you notice that also, or once again, too intricate of a detail?
Probably too intricate, but I did see some videos of people showing that it doesn't. Magnet Hands is severely reduced. There's a couple of videos. Some are by Dragon Smash. If people are interested, he shows changes to all the characters that they've shown off and new mechanics, either included in the direct or just people have seen or played during gameplay. But yeah, I've seen that apparently it is reduced quite a bit. I think they showed Ivysaur's tether recovery didn't grab, or how close Mario had to be.
Well, Ivysaur's always had garbage up B. Yeah, I know we haven't played Braille in 10 years, but it's always been trash. Yeah. But cool. Yeah. Matt, what characters did you play? I'm actually interested. I know did you play Ridley or did you
I
play Link?
played Ridley.
Okay.
Where's the stupid paint thing? Yeah, I played a couple of them. I think I played Link at one point.
Did you wear your shirt while you played as Link?
I mostly played Ridley, probably for half of it, and then off and on with Link, Zelda, Pac-Man, Charizard. I think Pikachu at one point. So a little bit of everyone, but also not a ton of everyone.
Dude, I'm excited. I wish they would say some more stuff about single player mode. I think that's low key kind of important to me because Smash is Smash, and you can't I don't know, man. Smash 4 single player is just so yawn, dude. I just wish it was there's more stuff to do. I get, and that's what I'm worried about because there's a lot of characters. I don't think we're gonna get stuff like target, break the targets and all this other fun stuff. It's there's no way they might do it Brawl style where they all just had the generic break the target level 1, 2, 3. And that was kind of boring, in Smash 64 and Smash Melee, at least they each had their own specific level.
Yeah. But, well, yeah, it's kind of hard when you have 70 characters.
Yeah.
But I think they'll have plenty of stuff to do, because I was looking back at in reference to Smash 4, because some people were saying stuff about this game, and I'm like, well, let's see how much that really holds up. And I looked back when they first showed off Smash 4 and played it, and it wasn't really any different much different compared to this versus they showed off a lot more stages for Smash 4 because there was both a Wii U and 3DS version, but it's basically like, here's 2 to 3 new characters. We'll go over them a bit. Here's what, the graphics and engine and stuff look like, but they didn't really go over single player content or anything like that. Basically, they didn't touch any modes, just multiplayer. And of course, that game still came out with a lot of other content. So I think it's just a matter of there's 2 big things going on in this reveal. It's Ridley and all the characters are returning, and that's basically enough to get people's attention. And if you put in too much else, then it's just going to get thrown to the wayside anyway. So.
Dude, one thing I'm really happy about is the mid-air charging with Samus. I was actually in Project M. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's a really cool ad they finally added in. And it's like, how come a fan-made game kind of gave her like this awesome ability that she should have always had? Like, I like the little subtle changes they did.
Yeah, they're really cool. I guess what are your thoughts overall? Like, has this got? Let me think for a second.
What do you mean? How do I feel since the reveal, or how do I feel about the characters and like?
So
how did I feel? Did my feelings change? What you're saying for the game, or?
Yeah. So with Smash 4, you played it a lot and you played in tournaments and kicked some asses, or a lot of asses, but eventually you got burned out and it wasn't so much your thing anymore. Does this new game, what you've seen, have you more excited, or are you just kind of like not as interested as you would have hoped?
I was actually the opposite. I was not interested going in. Like, I mean, I was interested as a fan of Smash and Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, dude, I totally want to play. Like I'm like, it's gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like, then I was like, it's just gonna be a port anyway, just at the 3DS levels. Just give me Smash Tour. I mean, Smash Run, not Smash Tour. Smash Tour sucks. Yeah, the 3DS one for people who don't remember. But yeah, and so I was like not excited at all going in, but I would still, keep tabs open. And I was only excited to really watch my guy who got eliminated, Mango, really play. But as the review went on, as the days would go on, I was like, I would like to see what's gonna happen here. And then watching the trailer, I was just like, yo, this looks not that bad. And then more things and more info and all this other stuff kept coming out and out. I was like, all right, dope. I could definitely like get behind this. And then as I watched some of the gameplay, as I watched like some of the new things in it, and like talking with Phil and Joey, I was like, dude, like the direction of air dodge looks awesome. I like what they're gonna do with this. And then I threw up a little bit when they re-announced Bayonetta and they didn't cut characters. And then I was like, all right, this game sucks again. I was like, wow, I can't believe they already ruined it. And then, I was really conflicted. I mean, it literally was like a 90 out of 10. Like, I mean, I might, an 80 out of 10 because Bayonetta's still in it. But yeah, I got like, honestly, like my feelings, like watching the gameplay, watching what they added and all this other stuff just got me more excited for it, to be honest. And I didn't think I'd be I didn't think I would be as excited since I was so burned out from Smash 4, So it's pretty exciting, dude. Like, really hyped. I'm really hyped. I'd love for more information. And I'm calling the next direct is September. That's my next call.
The Labo 2 direct you're referring to, of course.
Yeah. Labo 2 direct would be 8/18. I feel like that's a Nintendo day for some reason. August 18th.
Nice.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's good to hear your excitement. I mean, I share your dismay at Bayonetta returning, and I am the opposite end of the spectrum as a cash. But it's like Bayonetta being part of the online for the casuals is like great. There's just this like sinking feeling that you're like, oh, it's already hard enough as a casual to play this stuff online. Like it's already brutally difficult when you're only barely able to play Smash as a casual, and then it's like to face these OP characters that are like really popular with a lot of people. It's like I mean, like if
it's not fun.
It's not fun, and it's like it occurs to me that it's like I never even thought of it, but I wish like the way that Nintendo now that they're starting to be part of like the online ecosystem with like other systems, like the way Fortnite, the way like Rocket League are cross-platform, like that you have the option, for instance, in those games that you can be a system segregationist and be like, I don't want to play with anybody from anybody other consoles, or whatever. Like you can do that. Like in Fortnite, you can say I only want to play with Switch players, so that ideally then maybe you're getting matched with people that are like closer to your skill level, even though that's not really true for that game since it's just multi-platform, everyone's playing it on everything. But like it just hits me thinking about this just now that I'm like, I wish you could like block certain characters almost and say like I don't want to get matched against Bayo players unless there's just nobody else to play right now. Like it just
I can see that. One thing you also said is when you said, oh, I wish there was like, let's say, a ranking system. A lot of fighting games have that ranking system, so you don't fight people with like. So you'll fight, say, someone who's a Bayonetta, but they're trash at Bayonetta because they're more.
right.
Like
Yeah.
I don't mean to say this in a mean way, but they're like more akin to that casual level instead of being like,
course.
oh, I'm gonna play online and ruin my day fighting someone who's really good at it. So
Yeah.
like when you play Marvel, like you start the new Marvels, old online fighting, and you just fight whoever comes in your lobby. But in new ones, it's like, oh, you're level 15 guy. You're gonna fight against other 15th grade and 14th grade guys until you level up and win more. And as you win more, you know what I mean. You have you fight more people your rank. And DBZ did something like that too, where you could still rank up. Right, you're like, oh wow, I'm a Super Saiyan 2 rank online, but they would also color code you, so you'll be like, okay, even though he's Super Saiyan rank 2 online, as just a quote high rank, you're a green, which means you're not actually that good. You just play the game for fun and all that. Like people who are pink and red, like I'm a red, like all the pros are pink. Like then you're like, oh shit, this guy's really good. Like it would tell you. It didn't matter the rank, what he was. It just mattered really the color. So you're like, all right, man, I played. Like you'll be categorized with 50-hour players, but then you'd still be categorized in the same skill tier as the color code.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you fight someone with a higher one. Obviously, you're not just gonna fight all the same people you do all the time, but it'd be really cool if they did do something like that, which is really doubtful.
I hope they do that because Smash 4's was just flat out stupid and broken. It was just you play anything and you get points, and then that's how your ranking is. And it's like, okay, well, I beat all the modes with 50 characters, and now it's going to think I'm amazing, and I suck balls at it. And then I play 10 matches against the same Ike, and then I just turn it off. So,
I think, Matt, that was you that explained that to me years ago. That like if you played a ton of offline mode, it assumed you were a higher ranked player,
it's
and
just
that
one
is
score.
Yeah. That is a silly thing, and I think Nintendo's learned a lot since then about the online ecosystems of like video games and like all the other, they have like ranking, categories for like Splatoon, which is their biggest online success besides Mario Kart. And so, given that Splatoon, has the grade ranking, the A-, the A, the B, the C, like I would be confident that this new Smash will have that, especially since they're rolling out this like paid online service before Smash drops. They're thinking hard and long about this stuff, and they know people don't want to be in that situation. So hopefully, like Mike's was saying, that'll at least be the case. I mean, I'm assuming that's the default position. Like at least I'm going to be playing casual trash Bayonetta players, at least. But
well, at least looking at the game, they're certainly aiming for an esports kind of crowd. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo went up and were like, hey, this esports thing is doing well for us. You mind kind of, pushing it in that direction a little bit? I'm sure Sakurai also wanted to change it up as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Simply just because all the changes they're making are certainly aiming towards it, not just mechanics and things, but things like you can toggle off the stage hazard. You select the stage before characters, so that way when you select a stage, you can choose characters that work well for that stage, which works for either casuals or hardcore people.
Or competitive.
Yeah.
It's because the rule behind that, I don't know if you two know.
It's
so
like
it goes
picks
like
and
this.
counter picks and
and then you
like that.
choose. And then if you lose a game, you're like, okay, I got rid of FD. We're gonna go to Battlefield. And then, are you gonna change your character? No. Okay, I'm gonna change then. You know what I mean? Like that's how it would work.
Yeah.
So.
And then even things like when you do one-on-one stock matches, if someone loses a stock, it shows like the score display on the screen. Like this person has 2 wins and this person has 1, and how many stocks. So it's really aimed just even the UI for a tournament kind of setting. So I think they'll definitely fix that for sure. But yeah,
cool.
I guess we can go on to like the
Nice.
question segment. I mean, we've talked about some stuff here, but I guess.
Wait,
more
wait, wait,
specific
wait, wait.
questions.
What were you guys hoping for the Smash announcement? Were you guys hoping for anything that didn't get announced, or something that, or did something get announced that you guys were happy about, like the stages thing? Like, I think adding every stage is awesome because, like, I missed some of the stages. Like, I thought the 3DS had so many good stages. You know what I mean?
It
And I'm
did.
glad to see that.
Yeah.
So,
I
You
mean,
can
me
go first.
personally, I wish there would have like maybe been a couple more new, but I don't want to be like cheesy because that wasn't like a big thing I was going into it hoping for. I think it's really cool. I like the how like everybody's here idea. It feels a little light, if I'm dead honest, in terms of like a founding principle, but it's a huge founding principle. I mean, it's an enormous task, so it's like it's not like I should be disappointed, and I'm not, but being a little bit more in the camp of feeling like this is like halfway to a new game, like that I'm like, I admit that like the lack of new characters, I hadn't even thought about that much till Matt brought it up when we were debating, and I was like, it does contribute. I'm excited as heck. Just to clarify, like I'm excited as heck. I'll buy it. I buy it no matter what it had in it. I don't care. But
yeah,
like,
same.
it's like whatever. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not. I don't know. Like Inkling is the best new thing about it to me, and then like all the mechanical stuff I have to wait and see. I am a little worried that it's too fast for me as a casual, like that I'm
I think you're overthinking that, Clay. I know you haven't played Melee. Have you?
Yeah.
How much 64 have you played?
not very much compared to most people, like
Okay. Oh yeah, I
know,
forgot
so-
you dislike the 64. It's a nice
No,
way to
I
say
like it better than that, but it's not my favorite system. But I mean, I've played it. In fact, I was trying to have us play it at a game jam this weekend, and other people were the ones shooting me down. I was like, come on, it's hilarious. Like to me, like 64 is just funny. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, let's play it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's just for fun.
Mhm.
It's a lark. But they were like, nah, we can just play Smash 4. It's like the better game. And I'm like, no, I'm not debating that. It was like we were on different pages, so we ended up not playing it. But anyway,
Oh,
I mean, I just like the speed.
Well, you said you were gonna play Melee and you were gonna try it out. I think the speed. You can't determine speed by eye though, especially on a game.
Right.
I
I-
mean,
I would say
speed
after.
sometimes. Oh wait, let me finish that.
Yeah.
Speed sometimes, Clay. When you watch a tournament, don't they look way faster than you thought the
Oh my
game
God,
could
yeah.
possibly be? Yeah. So that's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like, you can't judge it based on. You really gotta touch it, like the way Matt has. He felt the controller.
I
He licked
fondled
the
it.
controller.
Yeah.
He is. Matt got where I was going. You've gotta be. But yeah. So,
Yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
don't
say
know.
worry
I just
too
I'm
much
not that
about it.
good. So that's my main
Yeah.
fear. I'm like, oh, it's gonna nerf me hard. But go on, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna
Go.
say I don't think you should worry too much. Like, so I did play with Mike in Smash 4 and then played Ultimate after, and it was like, oh wow, I didn't expect this. Kind of a change. I mean, kind of like no duh. It would feel different because you just played something else, but I don't think it'll take too much to get used to. I don't think it's like as huge of a jump as between like 64 to Melee or Melee to Brawl. So I don't think it's going to be like, whoa, man, I'm going to suck hard at this now. Yeah, I think it'll just be like, play it for a bit and you'll get used to it a
Sure.
bit.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
one
Sure,
thing
sure,
I
sure.
have heard from the pro scene is like what they were
It'll be
saying
all
was
the mechanics that'll be kind of hard to get used to and remember. It's like, oh, okay, magnet hands doesn't work as well, and now there's directional air dodges, so you gotta figure that out as like someone else something to do. So I think that'll be more harder to get used to just
Right.
because there's so many things. But Mike,
one thing I would say is it is closer to Smash 4. Like you've played Smash 4, and remember the guys who did make Grand Finals were Smash 4 players. It's not like
Right.
it's like the fundamentals of that changed.
Yeah.
Like I think
Right.
they just want the game to be more offensive than defensive because Melee is considered a very offensive game, and Smash 4 is considered defensive runaway-ish game, which is not fun for anyone anyway. So.
I mean, like I'm super excited. I mean, you asked an interesting question. Like, what were we hoping for, Matt? Like, was there something? Like, because nothing's jumping to mind to me other than the obvious trite complaint about characters, and I'm not even complaining. I'm like, after I sit back and look at it, like getting Inkling and Ridley, which I didn't really want Ridley.
Oh yeah, I was not a Team Ridley guy either. I never understood the hype for him. You know?
Me
I mean,
neither.
dude, well, I mean, like, and I'm the guy that put Metroid NES in our game tournament, and you
Yeah.
guys voted it down.
And you don't care.
Metroid, Ridley's from that game. Like, this is the Ridley model that's like, he was that size in that game, but I'm like, I really liked him as a stage hazard in 4. That's one of the most, and is that stage going to return? Like, with Ridley as a giant stage hazard? Like,
I don't
or is
know
that
if anyone's
stage?
found
I don't
it
know.
out yet.
I thought I saw that. Yeah, you know what? Now I'm confused on that. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they
mean,
could
just-
always do.
It doesn't make sense.
They could always
Well,
just
Clay
have
never played Melee. They had Craig. They had Craig.
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 Craig, yeah, I said Craig. Yeah, Craig from
that
The
guy,
Office,
Craig,
you know?
yeah.
Craig,
Yeah,
yeah. Yo,
Craig's
Craig, you
there.
got the mail, dude?
Craig, put your shirt on with your 3 nipples. It's gross.
Yeah. They had Craig in Melee. He's one of the stage hazards in the game and all that. So, I mean, maybe they'll just replace Ridley and just put Meta Ridley, even though they're supposed to be the same person and there's a Meta
Well, they
Ridley
actually,
costume.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think
so,
they could bring it back and either. Well, actually, I don't think you can bring it back and not have Ridley on it because otherwise it's not really interesting of a stage. But they could just be like, well, you know what? You have Super Metroid Ridley, and the Ridley on the stage is the ugly, roided out Ridley from Metroid Other M. I don't think it's like that crazy.
I bet you they don't. If I had to guess, like
They could
Sakurai
put
will just be
another
weird.
boss in there. I'm sure there's another Metroid monster they could shove in there if they really want to.
Well, I mean, Kraid and Ridley are the 2 mini bosses. Like they're the originals, the OGs. But like, that anyway. Like for me, it was like him. It's cool he's in it. Whatever. People wanted it really bad. If they weren't going to give you Waluigi, they had to give you Ridley. It feels like.
Gosh, I
But
better not
having
put
Inkling,
Waluigi.
well, like having Inkling, like is the bomb to me. That is like we were talking about that years ago when they were still taking the ballots for Smash 4, and I was like, I can remember ranting about how Inkling has the best potential for like a really unique, interesting characteristics and moves, and just the idea of being able to ink the stage and then bam, they just completely nail it from the looks of it. So I guess that would be my question and a comment. Like, did you get to play as Inkling? Any thoughts like from hands on with it, Matt?
I did. Do you want me to answer questions or just? Well, I guess I'll quickly wrap up of I guess what I was expecting or whatever. I was kind of in the same boat as you, Unoclay, where like I think since Smash 4, I was like, okay, you know what, Brawl has too many characters. I'm fully fine with cutting out the fat to have new characters, and they didn't even really do that much. And then same with this. I'm like, I can take some cuts from Smash 4 as long as I get new ones. And they're like, everyone's back. And I'm like,
You're like, oh god.
okay, so this guy's a madman, and he's slowly trying to kill himself by overworking himself.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean,
True.
like, I guess they are really close because in Smash 4, like, they can obviously like carry over that content. Like they already made it. They don't have to necessarily remake them from scratch, technically. Like they don't have to like Mewtwo. He wasn't in Brawl, so they had to remake him for the DLC. But I mean, they only had 7 other characters, and it's like when you're kind of that close, I can see like why you would want to do it. But personally,
you're like, all my hard work.
Yeah. But
I mean, I was really glad Young Link's back. I think
I don't
Young
even
Link's really
understand
cool.
why. Like, what the heck? What kind of difference
He's
is he
awesome,
gonna be
dude.
from Wind Waker?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, Clay never played Melee Young
I
Link.
did.
So
I
he
don't
He doesn't
know the
understand.
difference. Me neither. Yeah, I don't know. I would have been fine with more cuts so that it could have more new characters. But I mean, that's fine if he wants to have all of them in there. That's gonna make a lot more people happy. I'm still expecting like 5 to 6 new ones, and then maybe like 3 Echo characters, something like that. So, I mean, I think we'll still get new characters. I guess the other last thing that it wasn't something I was expecting, but something that's kind of has me worried. They only showed off 2 new stages, which is fine. Whatever, they'll show off more new content as it goes. But the stages they showed, I didn't really like so much. So they have the Breath of the Wild stage, and it's just on a tower, and like you can break the top part of it, so it's not like a cave. But it seems really boring for that game, especially with like what you could have really done. Like, oh wow, you're on a standing flat platform, yippee doo. Like some of my favorites, actually, my favorite stages are not
Train stage from 3D from Very.
Oh, that kind of sucks. The traveling stages. So Skyloft is cool. And then the Wii U Sports one, or whatever the Wii Sports one is, and Mario Kart 8, I really like. I don't know.
Oh,
There's
Wii
cool
Resort.
stuff
That's
too.
what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Matt.
I really
Wii
like
Resort.
those ones. So
Oh
I was
yeah,
kinda
dude. I
hoping
remember we were
Breath of the
talking about
Wild would
that.
do
We were like, when you picked, I think, yeah, you picked Wii Resort immediately, or then the final week. I was like, oh, I love these stages. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, me too, dude. Like
yeah,
Delfino is one of my favorite stages. Like, you know.
yeah, they're
I
great
just love
because there's so much they could have like done for Breath of the Wild, and it's just like, here's this boring stick. It's like, oh, okay, well that doesn't fill me with hope. And then the Inklings, the Splatoon one, like a lot of people are saying Inkopolis, it's fine they don't want to do that. It doesn't really make sense for a stage because you have so many stages in the game. It makes more sense to choose those. But I don't really care about Moray Towers as like its Smash Brothers stage. It's just like, here's a bunch of platforms on top of each other. It's like, okay, this sucks. It seems
Yeah,
like it was-
Wrecking Crew sucks,
it
right? Like I
seems-
didn't like that level.
yeah.
No way. I love that level.
it seems
What?
like they made
That
it.
level's boring.
Yeah.
Well,
I
they
mean, even
added the
that,
ladder
like-
attacks. They did add
Yeah.
ladder
Yeah.
attacks. So
I mean,
maybe
at
it'll
least-
be better.
Attacks,
At least
and it's strategic with like collapsing the stage and dropping the barrel on people. Like gets
Yeah,
into like
so
a
there's-
head game of that stuff. I do like that too.
Yeah, there's something to that. But I mean, for Moray Towers, it feels like they just made it to like show off the Inkling's ability. So the side special, the splat roller, if you turn around, basically how it works is you press it and you'll keep rolling until you run out of ink. So you don't, if you hit a character, you'll still keep rolling. It won't automatically stop you, which I think is neat. But like what you can do on that stage is you go to the edge and then turn around and you'll go down. And it seems like it was made just for that, like to show that off, and because there's nothing else interesting in that stage. So I'm kind of worried they might be like, we were putting so much focus on, bringing back everyone and some other stuff, and bringing back nearly all the stages, that we just kind of half-assed the new ones. So I hope they have some more interesting ones, because what they've showed there is not great. Granted, it's only 2 of, let's say, 10 new stages, but I'm
Now,
kind of
have they confirmed all? Like I might have misunderstood what one of you guys was saying earlier. Have they confirmed all stages are coming back, or just
no,
like?
but
No,
so,
they have not. I said it. I said it in a manner that makes it sound like they
yeah,
are.
but the Game Explained did a video. So on the website, behind each character is a stage, and it's basically like, I guess, counted as their home stage, and then stages shown off, in the demo and things like that. And around through all these sources, they've amassed like there's 83 stages or something in the game, and it's like almost all of them. I forget. Source Gaming put up
Did you
an
say
image.
83?
Yeah.
That's
So-
insane. Because
yeah.
I was just playing Smash 4 for the other night with my friends, and it had been a while,
Mhm.
and I was I admit, I was surprised. I don't want to use the word few,
Mhm.
but it's the word I'm tempted to use. That it was like just going back to it after a long hiatus was like, oh, let's play some Smash. And like and then I was filming a video too, and I was trying to think of the right stage for it. And I remember thinking like, I'm having trouble figuring out which stage to use because I don't have enough choices. And that was such a weird feeling to have, that I was like, yeah, there's only like 25 or 30 stages here. I have no idea. You know what I mean? But like, what a spoiled brat I am, to like have that feeling, in my
Right?
heart,
So
like,
yeah,
but
and
I
even
felt that.
so yeah, Source Gaming put out like a picture of stages that haven't been confirmed, and I think it's like 20 something.
Wow,
And
okay.
and even like half of those are like Smash 4 stages, so it's pretty much like, yeah, those ones are probably coming back.
Well, I mean, Great Bay is back from Melee.
Yeah, they
Peach's
remade
Casa
some
from
stuff
Melee.
too.
You know.
So yeah, we'll see if they'll do all of them. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't
but
feel
it's
like the
gonna be
Brinstar
many.
ones are gonna come back. I think Craig is too much work. Craig, yeah, Craig, damn it, Craig. I don't know why I keep saying Craig today. It's funny. I was listening to a song with Craig in it, freaking on Starbomb.
Craig.
Yeah, and it was just funny. It's just. I think that's why it's in my head like that, because they just said it kind of funny. But yeah, dude, I don't see like all those stages coming back. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, it was rumored that Star Fox level they made in Smash 4
Mhm.
was it took Sakurai a year to make that level or something like that. You know,
Yeah, that's nuts.
so
So
that's part of like the rumor.
yeah, I think that's maybe why we won't get so many traveling stages, just because I don't know how long the other ones took to make, but I mean, if that one took like a year, then I could see them be like, you know what, this is taking way too much work. and we kind of want to make
Mhm.
it so this is, the ultimate Smash that has basically everything from all the games. So maybe that's why, but you could still make a better stage even if it doesn't, move around. That's completely fine. There's a lot of them that don't. But anyway.
I would love to see this, because you're right. I've never played Melee. It's, on my list for someday when I really need a game to play or something like that. But I really would love to see that, like Craig, the Craig stage. But I'd also
freaking Craig, dude. You gotta watch out for him.
Like the stuff I've been calling, like I would love to see a Labo stage where the stage unfolds and wraps itself up and like builds itself into different formations, like Mario Maker style this time. I feel like that's not out of the realm of possibility for like DLC at some point. But also, I really wish they do some kind of best of Miiverse stage, like where they like personally curate like a couple hundred messages or something, even more. Like I don't know, from like their archives of Miiverse, because that stage is gone. And it would be super cool
you're right. Yeah,
if they memorialized it, just
Well,
like by
Unoclay.
they call it the eShop stage.
So
the eShop stage.
So you play Splatoon more than I do, and people still
Sure.
draw. How do they draw? Because maybe they could incorporate that into it. It wouldn't be called Miiverse, or maybe it would. I don't know, but
Right,
like, how do
you're
they
right.
draw
'Cause
in
that
that?
would be more likely that would be the way they would do it. You're absolutely right, because like that would be this
if you can do
it
that,
could be
then they could incorporate it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, like so it would be like they wouldn't even call it Miiverse, but we'd all know what it was, like
Yeah.
kind of that it. But I wish it would be more like what I was saying, like that they would take the time, because it would be sweet since like Miiverse is gone.
Yeah.
That like since they technically proprietarily probably have the rights to every message that was ever put through the service, that like if they would do that, it would be the coolest like tribute. That it would be like, here's the coolest art, the coolest graphics, like everything that was ever in Miiverse, just to remember it, or whatever.
And they
Like
wouldn't
that.
have to curate like bad drawings or not safe for work
Right.
or just rude comments either.
Right.
It's just like, here, we don't
Right.
have to worry about that crap. No filtering
Right.
necessary.
Right, like that they would just like have some kind of like they just have a database of like 1,000 like
Yeah.
low res images that are popping up in the background
Yeah.
while you're playing, and it's like, how cool would that be if you're like one of the people that like had a drawing in there, like from all those amazing artists that are like all that stuff is just like gone now from the internet. Well, there's people archiving it, but effectively gone, So that stuff I would like to see return. I mean, like I would love to see some of those Melee stages you're talking about that I've never played, even though it'll give me less reason to ever go back and play Melee. Like, to be honest, like if they do bring it all over, but whatever.
No, dude, Adventure Mode's enough of a reason to play Melee. It's the same reason why like everyone should be playing should play Brawl at least once just for subspace. Like Adventure Mode is like that good of a mode.
Yep. No, I hear you. I will someday. It's one of those things that like it's a great rainy day thing to have in the back pocket, like with all the backlog of games we all have. I'm like, it doesn't hurt me that someday I'll be able to mess around and play the greatest Smash of all time.
Yeah. Well, rumor has it Nintendo wants Pro Melee dead by December, but that's a rumor.
Good luck with that. I'm pretty sure they wanted that with Smash 4 too, and that didn't do nothing. They just said,
yeah.
What?
That is
Who
rumor
cares?
talk.
You have two games on there that people are playing. It's just going to give you more attention. The people who like Melee are not going to magically become, the new Smash players. So don't even bother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, like you can't change things like that.
They've been doing it for like 15 years or whatever insanity it is. You don't have a chance.
That's nonsense. Anybody who's saying that, that's just hype and fear among your Smash hardcore community, Mike. There is no planet where it would make any sense for Nintendo not to want.
Hey, no, I saw this on IGN. I didn't see it from rando posts. Yeah, dude, it was on an IGN article.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's great advertising for them. It creates a nostalgia and like mythos around Smash, like that people still play the original. Like that's like saying they wish people would stop playing Super Mario Brothers. Like, yeah, we wish they stopped playing Super Mario Brothers so they buy this Odyssey game. Like, that's
well, it's like the crowd of Melee though is more like, oh man, this game's casual. Like this game's no Melee, so it sucks, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like that's those kind of people, and it's just very hard to appease those kinds. It's one of those. This is better because this.
Sure.
Yeah, you know that crowd, bro. I know you know. We're all a part of it in some sense, but like.
I feel you. I mean, whatever. They can. I just can't believe. I mean, number one, Nintendo's a huge company of hundreds and thousands of different people with different attitudes. Maybe you could narrow it down and say maybe Sakurai would feel that way. I'm just hypothetically saying, that he'd be like, "Good grief, give it a rest. Melee was great, but whatever, fun."
Yeah, right. I mean, but that's why they got more Melee people to do the invitational. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to be like, guys, look, they
Right,
like
right.
it.
Yeah.
Right. That's
It's
true.
not that we
That's
paid
true.
them.
Yeah,
Not like we flew them here or anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Costs
yeah,
nothing to
Good
fly them
point.
in.
yeah. Did you guys?
Yeah,
So, did you guys have any questions I could possibly answer?
So
What's next?
Inkling and
Oh,
Ridley. That's
right,
the main
Inklings,
thing.
yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So I guess I'll talk about Ridley, and then because Inkling's more complicated. Ridley is basically like a lighter version of Charizard, except he moves better in the air. Charizard is pretty much slow regardless, but Ridley is faster than Charizard, lighter, has more reach. I
And
don't
he packs
know.
a ton of damage from the percentage
Yeah.
I've looked at.
Yeah, I can't recall like how much more in terms of standard attacks, but I know he has some specials that do a lot of damage. I didn't even know this until I watched a Nintendo video, but apparently if you charge his neutral special, which is like the fireballs thing, if you punch him in the mouth at the right time, he'll actually take 20% of damage.
Yeah, see, those are the things I think are gonna get changed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way that's gonna like stay.
Well, I mean, the 50% sweet spot seems like it's overkill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But-
There's like no way.
But I mean,
like,
it's still...
it'll probably be like 30 or 38. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Ganondorf
It'll probably be
punches.
reduced, but it's something to like make note of because I think they'll still have it similar that way. But yeah, I guess if you don't like Charizard, if you like the idea of Charizard, but you thought he was kind of slow and sucked, you might actually like Ridley. The only difference is that he's bigger, so he has a bigger hitbox. Obviously.
And he's lighter, right? That's like
Yeah.
the main two things you got out of it.
Yeah, he's lighter and faster, possibly stronger, but
Okay.
obviously he's
And he's the first
suitable.
member of the DK crew?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Well, Matt, if I'm someone who hates Charizard, am I going to like Ridley at all? Because it sounds like you're saying I better like Charizard, and I think Charizard blows
Why
donkeys.
doesn't everyone like Charizard? That's a problem.
Charizard is very, very, very cool. Very cool. Very good character.
I
Very
actually,
cool.
I made a new Twitter banner and I put him as my character, even though I main Pikachu. Like, you know what?
I
I'm
know
doing Charizard.
you love Charizard. You're always playing him, and I think he's like the most bizarre, lame, shoots in a straight direction, just like look, I got a rock. Like I'm like, oh, you got a rock? Really? Wait, this guy's got a rock. Look out! Like,
I'm gonna crush it over my head. See how that hurts
I mean,
you? It's
I
like,
know.
okay.
I'm always like, am I seeing this animation right? He's
oh my
hitting
gosh.
a rock with his
you know,
head.
You know what? It's like one of those dude bros who crushes a beer can on his face, but he has a rock.
Yeah. You just don't understand. You just don't appreciate it. All right, Clay?
It's
Charizard's not even a dragon. I bet you didn't know that, you un-Pokemon lover. All right.
I know. Pokemons are only Pokemons. They're not actually what everything they look like they ripped off it for their character model. I know that. Like, so I'm aware. I'm aware. I know that much.
That's what I'd
That's
say
great.
about Ridley. And then Inklings is going to take time to get used to because how they work is so if you use your splatter shot, neutral special, and paint someone, apparently if you attack them, they'll do more damage. We tried to test this, but it's kind of hard because you can't reset the values, so it was really hard to tell, but I'm sure they'll like actually change it so it's noticeable in the end. Personally, I don't even think it actually did anything in the demo. But whatever, they'll probably fix it down the line. Regardless, but and then when you run out of ink, your moves I think kind of become weaker. Like I know the splat roller, you won't actually have ink on your thing. And what you want to do is when you run out of ink, you charge. So it's shield and hold special, and then you kind of charge it up. Then you can spray ink everywhere again and blah blah blah. That is kind of hard to get used to, just because it's so different. Like to be aware of a meter that often, it's not really something you're aware of in Smash because most of the characters don't have meters. Even
Right.
the ones in Smash 4. It's not something that you have to be on top of like so often. So I think that's going to take getting used to. I don't know how much worse I guess you'd play if you weren't on top of that. Like I guess casually any character, it doesn't matter, but it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference it'll make. I don't know about that, so we'll see how that works. Like as far as like moving around and just average moves and stuff, like they're fine. They're like pretty much any other light character you'd expect, which is fine for me. It's just
Nice.
getting used to the paint mechanic.
Matt, okay, let's see. Any guesses for? I mean, okay, any last things about E3 that you noticed when you played Smash, or that you really enjoyed, or you just enjoyed it because it was Smash? And then I'll just say, anyone want to guess any characters we're gonna get, or any what do they call them? Echo Fighters? I was thinking Omega for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like any like last things, like you're like, oh, I like what they did with Link, or like, oh, I didn't think I would like, Pokemon Trainer as much as I did because I like what they did with Squirtle. Like, any other last things you got to say about it, or?
No, I mean I like it because it's Smash, and like most of the time we were playing with 4 people, or when we were playing it with 2, we were trying to be like more technical, like, oh, can we hear Cloud's voice in this, or can we, how does pocketing with Link's bomb work, and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, it's fun because it's Smash, but I don't think I had too much more to get away. I noticed some changes with characters. They kept Charizard's Flare Blitz instead of Rock Smash, which is good because that move was useless. But I mean, yeah, Smash, like Eli said, Smash is Smash. So I don't know how much else I see there. But as far as
that's fair.
Characters that I think are going to come, I kind of think Simon Belmont is coming, and not just because there was a leak. Before, I was thinking it was going to be him or Bomberman, and I figured Bomberman just because people are asking for him, even though I didn't really think he had much of a moveset. But
you thought he was too niche, Bomberman?
No, I mean, I thought... No, the reason I thought he might make it is because everyone was asking for him, but I didn't personally think he had much of a moveset to work with.
Okay, which is fair. Which is why he's in Assist Trophy. I mean, honestly, he really doesn't. Like, it would be just different types of bombs. Everyone's like, well, you could check out Bomberman Hero or something, but I was like, I mean, I wanted Bomberman. I voted for him. But yeah, even I was kind of realistic on that,
Yeah. I guess he would kind of be like Mega Man with so many projectiles, only with traps. But yeah, but I think since Bomberman isn't in, I'm kind of thinking Simon Belmont, because if you're looking at like classic NES characters, there's like a handful of them that would really suit well that haven't made it in. I don't know if... So I'm thinking Simon Belmont has a really strong chance. Maybe Ryu Hayabusa, because he's like, we have some ninjas, but he's like...
Oh, from Ninja Gaiden, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
The only hard part is that like his thing from his NES game is that he can climb on walls, and that might break Smash, because on Smash you can just like hold to
already
a wall.
Broke Smash, man. Don't worry about that shit, alright? You can break Smash. It's already broken. There's guns and triple jumps. Alright?
I can solve that one for you, Matt.
You just have
if you go all the way back to original... If you go all the way back to original Ninja Gaiden, I don't think you can climb walls in the very first Ninja Gaiden. You can only hop up them, and that was like almost breaking the game. You had to like do an air jump away from the wall and then jump back a tiny bit higher, and you could climb a wall by doing it, but it wasn't like a intended feature. That's only in like, I think in 2 or 3 that he gets the ability to climb the wall, if I remember correctly. Like, so OG Hayabusa, no. He doesn't climb walls. He hangs.
Somebody asked me a question just now.
Yeah.
They said, "Do you think they'll change more Roy's voice, considering they changed Mart's voice?" And I think if anybody here has actually played Fire Emblem Heroes, then we would know the actual answer. I don't know if Roy's in that game at all, but I would assume
sure
yes. Why would they leave one guy Japanese?
All the other characters. Yeah, I guess so. Because I mean, if you think of it, all the other Fire Emblem characters are in English. It was only Marth that was Japanese, and now that... Well, I mean, it wasn't... oh, right, I guess...
Lucina's in English, and Corrin was in English.
Yeah, and Robin and Ike.
Yeah, they were all in English.
Yeah, Roy was Japanese in the DLC, wasn't he? Yeah, I
Yep,
guess they
he's
copy that.
Japanese, and yeah, in every version. In my opinion, if he's gonna be English,
I
I'm gonna call it right now. I don't think you guys are weeb enough to know, but I think my call would be Johnny Young Bosch would be the voice actor for him.
that
Yuri
sounds like one
Lowenfeld
of
is the voice.
okay. That sounds like a
Yuri.
name you made up, like as a joke, like Johnny Wobberdosh or whatever you said.
Oh yeah, he's one of the most like prevalent English voice actors. But
Gotcha.
what do you call it? I would say my guess would be him. Would be him to be the voice. I don't know him. Yuri Lowenfeld's the voice of Marth.
Mhm.
He does a lot of he's most famous for being Sasuke in the English Naruto.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's my guess for it. I would hope so, but you know what? The other thing is I would hope if they're gonna do something like that, I would really hope they would give the option of English or Japanese. Like
I hope so too,
for
because I like
voice.
Marth's Japanese voice better. Because I'm so used to the gibberish to me, and it's just funny to hear.
Yeah,
That's it.
I
Like
agree.
we've-
It's kind of
we've-
it's iconic.
We've gotten used to it for over a decade now. It's kind of hard
Oh
to
man,
pull that away.
yeah, almost 2 decades,
Yeah.
man. Melee's what 2002 or something?
2001.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it's
like
hard.
when Marth was
when
first
they
introduced.
show that off, I'm like, oh, well, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Marth, this sucks.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna have to do. I think if they're doing Marths, they're definitely doing Roy's to make them all English anyway. But we'll see if
That's
we
true.
can turn that off.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is too. One of my favorite things of Smash Wii U was the mods, and
Mhm.
you know, I liked characters better in Japanese. I thought Fox and Falco sounded better in Japanese.
Mhm.
I like my boy Kamui. You know. So Reflay, you know, I'm all about that life. But yeah. So I'm wondering if they give us the voice option or just, you know, I don't think we're gonna get that language. I mean, remember this is Nintendo's like first like region unlocked system in a long time.
Mhm.
So these are things that are possible. Otherwise, I'll just have to buy Smash twice and just buy the Japanese version.
Well, isn't there something with I think it was like Breath of the Wild? If you log in with a Japanese account, then you'll hear it in Japanese.
Yeah. But then they added later on. They just gave you all.
Yeah, they added it after. But I mean, let's say they don't give you the option. You might just be able to change.
Oh
the
yeah,
language
you're right,
to
Matt.
do
Good
that.
call, man.
The
Yeah,
only
because
problem,
Smash actually has a lot of English text. So
the only problem I guess with the customization is if you change, because I know some of the other ones have language options, but that changes like literally everything. So I don't know if you'd be able to change just the voices of specific characters, or if it would
in
change,
Melee
like,
you could
or-
Melee you could go Japanese.
Yeah,
and
but
it
that's-
changes most of the stuff, like all the language, but except for like, you know, some words I guess that there is no kanji for. So it'd be like you know, like I guess versus mode or something. You know,
Yeah.
or you know, some things are called different. They're like, you know, it's like it would be like battle royale instead of time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you'd be able to keep like everything English but certain characters, or if it's just like you want another language, you have to get everything with it. So we'll see about that. They put a lot of customization options in, so I'm sure there'll be something. But Unoclay
I
did-
got another. I got
Yes.
another fake live question from
Sure,
Mike
and then,
Sharp. He goes. He says it hurts his feelings that Ultimate's going to make Smash 4 dead.
Mhm.
And you agree with that? Smash 4 is gonna
Yeah,
go back. It's like the Wii U. It's going in the dustbin.
pretty much. Well, they're like, here's all the characters and all the content from Smash 4, and there wasn't really like a single play. Like there were master
There was no single
orders
play.
and-
No, Matt, we don't have to hide it.
I no, there wasn't. But I mean, like I'm thinking of like the only possible differences is like master orders and crazy orders, and that's not really something to go back and play the other ones.
Oh yeah, go back and play. Like
because the only yeah.
it was the only unique
I mean-
mode. Yeah,
I mean,
even
let's
you know,
be
I
honest.
didn't even like. I didn't even enjoy. To be honest, I didn't enjoy the event mode in this game. Like I like the
Hmm.
co-op events, how they were different, and there was a whole roadmap for it. But I just wasn't like the event mode in Melee was like so iconic.
Mhm.
And then like for me, like when I think of Brawl, I think of Subspace and I think of Boss Battle. Like I
Mhm.
think those were like two coolest things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the terrible laggy online. But yeah, when I go back and think of Smash 4, man, unfortunately, I think of Bayonetta now and how it ruined the game, and I'm like, gosh dang it, dude. You know, like, I mean, 3DS Smash, I think of the good levels. I think of one thing I like that I want back. It just came back to my head because I was thinking about it. I want them to bring back the costume preferences. In 3DS, it remembered
Oh,
what
yeah,
costume
yeah.
you use. And then when you went to Wii U, they somehow don't have that. And I'm like,
That kind of made sense just because it's like you're all on one console, whereas the 3DS.
Oh, the
is like,
3DS
it's
is
yours.
really.
But I mean,
Okay.
like this is both now, so I don't see why not.
Yeah, if they do that, that would be sick. And then, like I said, we all know how much I love Smash Run, so my fangirl.
I mean, to your listener's question, Mike, or your commenter's question, I would say it's not even like Smash 4 is really dead since they're basically giving it to us again with a new coat of paint. So.
Yeah, Clay is a 4.5 believer. You know, this is like he's a red pill versus blue pill guy. I think. I don't know. I don't really know the terms for it because he's one of those Matrix people. But yeah.
It's not even really that in a way. You know, it's kind of like you know.
Yeah, it's living on inside of us. Does anyone know if this rumor is true? Was Smash 4 supposed to have a story mode?
I don't recall hearing that. I mean, there are a lot of like fake rumors, like Namco was making, I forget what it's called, like Smash Tower or something, where it was like a Soul Calibur
like Mortal
mode.
Kombat, where you okay, I know what that is.
I remember someone made some fake crap about that, and that never came to be, but I don't think so. Unoclay, did you have any questions? Because I know you were thinking about some stuff.
No, I mean, You've adequately. I mean, I think the main thing people and listeners are going to want to know about is the characters and the stages. We covered that. The mechanics is so difficult to talk about verbally that it's a little bit like, well, Mike covered that adequately. I think we covered it. I mean, we're like kind of beating it to death in terms of like the little bit we know about it right now, and thankfully we do have you with some hands on. So I guess. Yeah, I don't.
I've got one last one. I've got one last question. What character were you upset was not in in the demo when you played it, Matt? What character did you really want to play? I mean, there was a handful in the demo.
Let me pull up the Smash 4 roster quickly to see.
Okay. And then, while you're pulling that up, the other question I had is, what is everyone's rumored date for a demo? What does everyone think? You think A? Do you think we'll get a demo, and B? Do you think we'll get a date?
They'll probably do like a online beta that they've done with basically every multiplayer game.
Oh, like a weekend special, like a Splatoon.
I don't think they'll be like you can download it and play it whenever. I think they're going to be like, no, this is going to be.
Well, they have to do that. I mean, think about it. Like you're going to be like. You're going to have to be one of those guys who's like, I need to download this now, or like 4 a.m. when no one's sleeping, because the eShop, hopefully they could still handle it, because you remember all the old days where the eShop,
It'll be after the online service rolls out, so it'll be after September, and it'll probably be like October, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to go even further than that, since you said October, I'm going to go with, they're going to do it on the day the 3DS Smash was released. They're going to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless that's still a weekend day. Like if that falls in, it'd be like nice little ode to like, hey, this is when Smash 4 3DS came out. It'll be a weekend though. That's more important. It'll definitely be a weekend. Like it'll
just
the
weekend
be like,
or something.
Yeah, like something like that. That's possible. I mean, they're going to target it though, Mike. I think that would be a nice nod, and it's possible they'll do it. But they're going to target it to like coincide with all their other messaging for whatever else they got coming for Christmas. So there's a lot of factors that are going to, you know what I mean, force their hand on like when do they do this, because they don't want to like show it when there's something else that they're trying to get your focus on. They're going to like be like, all right, because that's going to be a major event to like sell this game for the Christmas season and put Nintendo in like the top 10 things to have for Christmas, So they're gonna maximize that showing, whatever it takes. It's gonna be like there's gonna be a direct for whatever Labo kit we're getting for Christmas. There's gonna be the Smash 4 weekend. There'll probably be another mini direct. So it's almost hard to predict, but it'll be after the online service rolls out, because they're gonna want to beta test that online service.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, they have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they gotta test it out.
It's gonna be like, how does this stress test run with the biggest game we're going to have for online the entire life of this system, as far as we can tell? Like how,
not until we get Call of Duty, obviously. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, like, they're grown by leaps and bounds nowadays. Like, I mean, it's just nutty. I mean, I know Fortnite has their own servers, but the fact that you can play cross-play for that and tons of other games, like playing online now with Switch, and you forget that you're playing on a Nintendo console because it works. is testament enough that you're like, wow, I play Fortnite on here, which isn't the most power intensive game or anything like, but it's got 100 players per match. The matchmaking's slick. I know, again, it's not Nintendo servers, but it's like it works perfectly. It's like you're in a match within like 30 seconds on average, you know, like with 100 other players playing live, and I play exclusively Switch players, you know, so it's like, all right, this is Nintendo's come by, the console at least can handle it. The Smash beta is going to be like them, you know, they've already got Mario Kart 8 data, they've got Splatoon data, you know, they've got a pretty good handle on where they're going with this. Smash is another level, of course, like, but it'll be a weekend beta, you know, and it'll be.
Oh yeah, they honestly, if I wasn't there problems with did Mario Tennis release with online?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah,
Okay. And I heard a rumor. My friend's like, "Yo, I don't want to get Mario Tennis. They don't have online." I was like, "Are you sure
Oh, yeah,
the reviewer just didn't have access to online?"
Yeah, no, they just didn't have access to it because that's like the main
bait-
reason why people are continuing playing it, because the adventure mode apparently is like pretty short. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean,
Yeah.
but isn't there also a mission mode or something like that?
No, I
Yes.
think it's
Yeah.
just.
Well, there's
that.
a single player campaign, isn't
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
It,
I
though.
thought there was also a mission mode. I thought that was like something never turned.
No, I think it's just that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Mike. Yeah. I mean, the weekend beta for Mario Tennis, for God's sake, had working online. Yeah, I mean, like I played
Yeah.
like 10 matches before.
Dude,
I got bored of it.
I love that beta. I mean, it worked pretty well. I mean, I also like, you know, I always did the Splatoon global test fires, and I'm pretty sure those are, you know, very helpful for Nintendo.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah, and they still have another previous Smash that was online. They have to test. That wasn't Brawl.
Yeah.
So they have that data too. To answer your question, Mike, about you know, if there was a character I wanted to play that wasn't in the demo. No, not really. Actually, I usually play most of the standard characters, and even the ones that aren't like technically standards, like I guess Mewtwo or Pac-Man, were still in there anyway. Funny enough, Luigi wasn't in there, but Pokemon Trainer and Mewtwo were. Pac-Man.
Yeah, how
yeah.
dare they put so many Pokemon and not Luigi in?
Screw Luigi. But
do you think any assist trophy could be a character in the future?
No.
You mean
AKA
one,
Not this game.
one's yeah,
Not this game.
yeah, not ones from this game.
No, 'cause,
I kind of agree with that. I mean, I think that's why they knocked out
Six.
Shadow, bro. I think he's gonna be the Omega for Sonic, dude. Even though it should be Tails, but Tails has a completely different jump and all that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could happen, dude. Like, it could happen. He could be that young Echo. I said Omega again.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I don't know if they'll do echoes for third parties. I
That
guess
is true.
depends on. For me, I always thought he would feel it's disrespectful to be like, well, here, yeah, I want to use your character. I'm just gonna, you know, make it a copy of another character because they don't deserve, I guess, a full character treatment.
They don't
but-
deserve my good nature
Yeah.
of Smash.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe the people involved won't really care because they'll have their character in there in a playable format anyway. So who really knows? If they do that, I think it's guaranteed that Ken will come in from Street Fighter because literally all you have to do with Ryu is replace his face, turn off the headband, and then just color his gi, and that's literally it. Like, it's the least amount of work.
What about Ryu's sick do? All right? I mean, Ken Master's sick do. He's American, man. All right.
I don't even know what that
Disrespecting
is.
my boy Ken.
I don't know what a Sigdu is, but
His signature hairdo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's part of his head.
No. He's got
And what about
nice.
yeah,
He's
but
got
what about-
nice American blonde hair, man. All right. That's it.
Yeah,
You
but what about
Canadian,
the
you just
fan-
wouldn't understand. You just wouldn't understand.
I
Ken Masters is our pride and joy.
What
Right.
about the fact that as kids we believed that secretly Ken was slightly better, and that's why.
Oh hell yeah, bro! Because he has a fire Shoryuken. Okay. Like I'm a Ken main, man. I don't really play Street Fighter, but I know I'm a Ken main. All right. I love America. And I love fire. All right. So I'm a Ken main.
So where do you stand on Guile?
Guy, oh dude, you ever heard his theme song? Top tier automatically. Doesn't matter. He doesn't have to do anything else. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I mean Clay, why aren't you playing that every time? All right.
Oh man, Guile, because you got to stand in the corner and charge that stupid kick. Like
Oh no, you mean seismic kick and seismic boom? Yeah, man. Yo, those are charged. Those are different. You don't input them as Hadouken inputs. You have to put them as holding
I know.
left and then
That's what I'm saying. Like, Kyle, get the heck off my board. I'm all about Dallasum. I'm all like an Indian guy. I'm like,
Oh yeah, you want that stretch life? All right.
I want that necklace full of skulls. You know, it's children's skull necklace.
You like the
I got
breathe
that.
fire on them? I got it.
All right.
Alright.
So
So-
Smash.
Yep, that's Smash. Get ready. You're unprepared. Yeah, so I think we'll wrap it up there for this week. You can find me at the Manga Viking on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Source Gaming. I'll have some more impressions articles coming out this week. And Mike, where can people find you?
All right, guys. Find me Troy FB7 on Twitter. Gaming Night Live. I've been putting out a lot of Smash, aka not trash, the new Smash. Right? I've been putting a lot of videos out on that. And then you can just find me at Troy Filibuster on Twitch. Thank you.
Cool. And Unoclay, where can people find you?
I am Unoclay_Switch on the tweets, so you can check me out there. I don't tweet a lot or a little. I tweet right in that sweet spot of the kind of guy you want to follow, just enough to make it interesting, not too much that you'll be like, "Shut up, dude." And Unoclay_Gaming or Unoclay Gaming on the YouTubes. I'm working on a pretty funny video right now that I'm not ready to reveal yet. So right now, I'll make do with my less funny and less apt videos from the past.
All right then. So follow Unoclay's channel for somewhat crappy videos that are very old.
Some
kidding.
good videos, some crappy videos. That's what you're gonna get, you know.
Yeah. So wherever
Hey,
you're
I'm the one that said it.
Oh, man.
I mean, you can't get them all. You know what I mean?
Can't get them all.
It's a grab bag. Just
Just gonna be-
choose one, you'll find one, maybe. All right.
Yeah. Take a shot. I mean, Clay, he's all about those how to do videos. So he's like, how to turn on your Wii U, easy 1,000 views. All right. You're like, wow, people didn't know.
Like I like your advice. You're like, you choose one, you'll get one. That's a great motto for my channel. Like, click a video, you'll see one.
It's there. It's a video. I swear.
Oh man. All right. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions if you're interested in being a guest at Just Another Castle or me directly at the Manga Viking. So until next time, leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.